delighted to be here, Ben. Appreciate the opportunity.
I want you to start off by talking to us a little bit about the history of the company. Where did you guys come from and where are you guys at now?
Company was originally founded in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. Our inventor is a gentleman by the name of Wayne Littleford. Developed a concept that was tested at Brookhaven Labs initially in Long Island, New York, around energy recovery and emission reduction strategies. We expanded into the United States officially in 2009, and we're presently involved in opportunities in not only North America, but also Central and South America, India and Europe, and looking at our potential for the Chinese marketplace as well.
Very cool. And being in business for a little while, has all the money been funded by the management team? Do you have other outside groups giving you guys aid?
Yeah, combination actually. The founders invested a little over $1 million of their own money. I actually used to own a corporate finance company, so when they got past the Brookhaven Lab report and needed cash for patents and commercialization of corporate branding and the like, they came to me. We raised some additional dollars through my investor network, which got us to the point where we wanted to drive our sales and marketing approach, which is when we opened up conversations with our VC funder, Altera Group, out of Denver, in fact. And they were kind enough to put up $8.5 million as part of our Series A round, and that's been able to get us to the point where we're actually closing on deals and working to achieve targets on EBITDA and margin.
Sure. It looks like that your solution not only can help with the environmental impact, but also the economic impact for your potential customers. I'd like for you to tell me a little bit about who those customers are and why, and what types of reasons. Why would they go with somebody like you?
Well, interestingly enough, the original members of our sales pipeline were primarily in the industrial side. And they were in the industrial side because they were attempting to find a solution that protected them from volatile energy prices. What I didn't know going in is that for every dollar these companies invest in energy, they're only typically able to utilize 25 to 33 cents to produce their product. We've got a customer that has a monthly electricity bill of $10 million. So not only is that inefficient, it's really, really quite expensive. So our solution was really a dollars and cents argument that the industrials have embraced. It's been the last year or so since the EPA has gotten a little bit more aggressive with some of their air quality restrictions. And we've seen some states in the union that have targeted specific pollutants such as Maryland and mercury regulations that the utilities have started to move along as well. So where our sales pipeline was probably about 55% industrials a year ago, it's pretty much a 50-50 split, maybe even a little bit more weighted on the utility side now.
And is the value prop different for the industrial customer compared to the utility customer?
Well, certainly their focus is really on the energy recovery first. And if they can, for the industrials, that's right. And if they can embrace emission reduction at virtually no additional cost, then it's a win-win for them because then they can avoid any kind of punitive arrangement or environment that may be unfolding as we move forward. On the surface, it would appear as though the value proposition for the utilities is all about compliance, and it's driven by compliance, but it's really economic in nature as well because if they can't hit the standards that the EPA in some states are looking for, that may force them to mothball otherwise profitable power plants, whether they're a little bit older, ones that just require a retrofit. And we've seen numerous examples of utilities that are attempting to expand their fleet and they just can't get permits to do so because they're relying on fossil fuels. So from an economic perspective, there's huge value to what we do there as well.
Are there certain fossil fuels that you're focusing on, or does your solution cover the whole swath?
Well, from the perspective of our sales and marketing initiatives, we're really focused on coal and natural gas, but utilizing coal as one of the fuels in our sales and marketing facility, all of our customers know that that also applies to oil, bunker C oil, diesel, and the like. So any manufacturer that relies on a fossil fuel, whatever that fossil fuel might be, to generate energy to produce a product, whether that's aluminum, steel, electricity, is a potential customer of ours.
Does the customer already have a good understanding of them needing a solution like yours, or is there some type of an education process that comes into play as you begin the sales cycle?
Initially, it was very much an environment where we had to reach out to the marketplace to introduce them to our technology because although they understood the need, up until our introduction, they couldn't find anything that worked. So certainly we were a key driver in terms of our sales pipeline initially. In 2010, most of the additional members of the sales pipeline have been companies that have approached us because through their network, they've heard of this disruptive Comply 2000 technology that is this multitask, multi-purpose system.
And how does the solution differentiate you from any of the other competitors?
Well, essentially, we attack the pollutants at the molecular level, which is an entirely different process than anybody else employs, and we convert the pollutant into a water-soluble form, so we can actually collect it in the water. And the lion's share of our water is recycled, so there, in terms of byproducts and after products, there's very little that we need to address. And by incorporation of both a fogging array that is responsible for collecting the pollutants and the subsequent condensing coil, which was initially designed to assist with the capturing of the pollutants but has become more important on the energy recovery side, this is where we've been able to fundamentally differentiate ourselves from everybody else in the market.
And what's the time process from the beginning of meeting, a potential customer all the way to the engagement and then installation of the solution?
Prior to Louisville being constructed, it was anywhere from 18 to 24 months because we didn't have anything that we could show them at scale to demonstrate the efficiencies in our representations. Now we're finding our sales cycle is inside of 12 months, and then it's just a normal project schedule from there that could be anywhere from 18 to 36 months depending on the size of the facility that we're working on.
And is there a lot of maintenance?
No more so than the more traditional technologies that have been employed in the past. There's an annual maintenance program. Our technology has a lifespan of 20 some odd years, assuming regular repair and maintenance. For the industrial participants particularly, we can provide them with a 3 to 5 year payback on their capital investment, and in a normal firing environment typically where it's under 3 years. So there's an awful lot of additional time that they can take advantage of that technology well past the time at which they've been able to pay for the system.
Does policy have a big push towards you being able to be successful as a company?
Compliance helps us, but it's not a key determinant.
Okay.
Certainly, again, in the industrial side, it's all about the money. On the utility side, it's all about the money and also avoiding a punitive environment that you're not able to, or standards you're not able to meet as a result of deploying technology that doesn't achieve the benchmarks that the EPA, as an example, would be looking for you to achieve.
Are there certain parts of the country that have better opportunity for you guys, and are there other state or other countries that have equal opportunity outside of the U.S.?
Any jurisdiction within the United States that has a manufacturing base is obviously a huge market for us. So, as an example, I'll use California less so than the Midwest of the United States. In terms of countries outside of the United States, I mean, any country that has somewhat of a manufacturing base, even a small country like Chile where we're operating in, which really is sort of mining-centric and also power generation, we still have an application that could be utilized there. And of course, they have shortages of electricity, so our technology can certainly help them expand that fossil fuel-based electricity grid.
This is the final question. This is more personal than about the business. I'm curious to know why you do what you do.
Well, certainly the financial opportunity as a shareholder in the company is a huge motivator, but we take great pride in having come up with something different that nobody has tried before, or we found that people have tried before and they haven't been able to hit it. So the fact that we can introduce a model that generates shareholder value for the shareholders of these companies and at the same time make a huge difference on air quality and climate change, that's a big deal for us. So it's a lot of fun going to work every day.
Tom, thanks for being with us.
My pleasure.